now I'm down here. But I'm up here and I'm down here. There are no chords. What? Yes. Welcome to Spotify Day edition 10-1. And today I am sporting some Bluetooth headphones, compliments of Menards. And the $10 they cost because they were on clearance. But I thought I'd try something new. I've never used wireless headphones like for anything before. Yes, I know they have wireless earbuds now, but I don't like earbuds. Never have. They're bad for your ears, and they always get that wax on them that just reminds you about earwax exists, which is not, I don't need a reminder of that. So let's see how these things work, and the best way to start off is on New Music Friday, and the best way to start New Music Friday in my world is with some Run the Jewels. New album out, RTJ4. Here's a little track called Just with Zach De La Rocha. I've heard very good things about this new Run the Jewels album. Then again, I've loved every Run the Jewels album, so yeah. Zach De La Rocha, still got it. Haven't heard much from him on lately with the old Rage situation, but yeah, still sounds good here. So yeah, it's great. I mean, I will also admit that one of my favorite Run the Jewels album is the Meow the Jewels project. So I'm a little biased there. But yeah, legitimately great. But if you're a fan of Run the Jewels like me, you'll probably be like, well, duh. Let's Run the Jewels. Up next, YG with FTP. Just not a lot of songs about file transfer protocols. So, this isn't about file transfer protocols. How do I say this? In this case, FTP stands for something that NWA might have said at some point. Maybe it was just Eazy-E, I don't know. But, yeah. Definitely a song that... I haven't heard a song like this in quite a while from the rap world, so. But it's good. I mean, the lyrics obviously are, it really depends on where you stand these days on lyrics like this, but yeah, it's good though. So if you give it a chance, you might like it. Not saying you'll agree with it, but you might like it. Up next, Meek Mill and Other Side of America. I have a feeling this week's episode is going to be very polarizing to people listening, because yeah, this is definitely... Song starts out with an audio clip of President Trump speaking to African American voters about what do you have to lose, and Meek Mill basically running that down. Good song, but again, your mileage may vary on this one depending on your leanings. Up next, Sleepy Hollow and Batty Betty Boop. So I'm back to the Beats by Dre. Apparently $10 Bluetooth headphones from Menards on clearance. Might be on clearance for a reason. Either that or I've just got too much Bluetooth going on in this house. Either way, they were cutting out pretty bad, so went back to the corded. Anyway, Sleepy Hollow, Betty Boop. It's pretty good. I mean, it's just a little bit better than okay. Up next, Nasty C and T.I., who was in some nasty trouble not that long ago, and they don't. This is probably as smooth as I've heard T.I. in a long time. Nasty C isn't too bad either. Another song dealing with what's going on in America right now. So once again, let's hear it for the modern music distribution method, because that can get very timely songs out in a hurry. I think we've already heard more songs about the current situation in America than we heard about the whole quarantine stuff. But this is a bit more song-worthy than probably being quarantined, I guess. Up next, some Lil Wayne with Tory Lanez and Help. It's alright. This goes in the OK file. I've never been super blown away by Lil Wayne's stuff. I know that puts me in a minority. Up next, T Gizzy with Queen Naija and more with Mr. Officer. Another one, very topical, and this one actually has members of the Detroit Youth Choir, and yeah, this is a very powerful one. This one's pretty great. So, yeah, definitely one I'd listen to. I'm not a big T Grizzley fan, but yeah, this one he kind of nails. Up next, Dua Saleh and Bodycast. I think this is along those same lines, but I don't know if the execution is as good as the rest. Put that one in the OK file. Up next, Conway the Machine and Front Lines. This is pretty good, especially in these headphones. There's like a little thing, like sounds like it's going around my head like a bumblebee. It's pretty neat. Up next, the late XXXTENTACION with Riot. I realize this is probably just a freestyle they threw up with some music behind it to kind of fit in with what's going on right now, but as far as like leftovers they've done that with, it's really good. So, put that in the good file. Up next, JayDaYoungan with Moneybagg Yo and Do You Dance. We're back to rapping about the usual popular rap stuff. Smacking that butt and all that stuff. But after listening to hip hop with a message, which probably my favorite kind of hip hop, I'm a good Public Enemy guy from back in the day. So, yeah, hearing something like this after hearing those great tracks from Nasty C, Sleepy Hollow, T Grizzly, it's just lacking. So mediocre. Up next, Mickey Guyton and Black Like Me. This is one of those songs that might grow on me more with time. It's pretty good. Goes in the okay file. Once again, sections bad, mediocre, okay, good, great. Up next, Trey Songz and 2020 Riots, How Many Times? This is a good R&B hip-hop version of some of the stuff we heard earlier. This is pretty good. It's very rare. The first time I've done a New Music Friday where there was a theme, but the way things are going in America right now, how could you not have a theme going right now? Up next, the Blind Boys of Alabama and Stay on the Gospel Side. Yeah, it's okay. Kind of a weird one to put in this spot on the playlist, but hey, kind of works out. Up next, Run the Jewels and 2 Chainz and Out of Sight. You know, Killer Mike actually spoke about some of the riots and about the situation in America and especially Atlanta, and even though he did put a few S words in it, he was so eloquent. Somebody posted his speech like I did, and I just commented, Killer Mike 2024. I mean, seriously. It tells you where we are in 2020 in America, where a guy named Killer Mike seems like the guy you wish you could be voting for president. Up next, Seb with Boys Don't Cry. It's a remake of the old, no, that was a group, not a song. Never mind. The Boys Don't Cry did that song in the 80s. I want to be your cowboy, and you can be my... Hey! We don't want another copyright claim. So, yeah, this isn't bad. It's okay. Solidly okay, but, you know, it is healthy for both men and women to show emotion. And if boys don't cry, it just bottles up that emotion, which could lead to an emotional outburst. It's like shaking a bottle of soda. So when you eventually, that top comes off, it's going to go everywhere. Make a mess. Especially if their name is Dr. Pepper, because, man, that stuff is volatile. Up next, Joy Oladokun and Oladokun. Anyway, it's Who Do I Turn To? It's aight. It's pretty okay. Another one of the songs I think could grow on me. Up next, Flatbush Zombies and Dirty Elevator Music. This one kind of threw me for a loop because it's some hip-hop that's, you know, back to the non-message hip-hop, the message of, obviously, Dirty Elevator Music. But at the same time, something about it just sticks out to me. So I'm going to put this one in the okay file, but keeping an eye on these guys. Also, Dirty Elevator Music, you know. It's not just Lovin' an Elevator by Aerosmith anymore. Up next, Terrance Martin and a bunch of other people with Pig Feet, which I have never tried. I have a feeling that's not what they're singing about, though. This is good. The saxophone in here kind of adds something, too. There's also some Denzel Curry, Kamasi Washington, and more. So, it's good. Up next, Eric Bellilnger and Enough. Boy, it's another... I'm having a hard time being funny on this. You know, I tried to do this show. It was meant to be kind of a funny way to talk about music, I thought. But with all that's going on, with the George Floyd's death and the protests, and now New Music Friday is just... Jeez. It's like over half these songs are protest songs, and I gotta give the hip-hop R&B community credit because they're coming out swinging this week with new music about this, and they are... You know, it's one thing to record protest songs, but to record good protest songs, that's what you really want to do. Because anybody can record a protest song, but the important thing is you make it a good song, too, so people are going to want to listen to it, you know, in the future. It's going to be important. And all the ones I've heard this week, the majority of them have been just... They're coming out swinging, and they're coming out swinging hard, and they are not leaving any prisoners. Which maybe is inappropriate language to use with that. I'm just saying, all the protest songs I've heard today are, I think all of them were either good or great. I think one I put in okay. But yeah, they're all really good. So, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Rest in peace, George Floyd. And maybe we'll have some, you know, sillier music to talk about tomorrow. Be good to each other. Stay safe.